Hey everyone.
Hey,
So wonderful to be here today and to share this seminar with you. My name is Aishah McCoy. I am a family law and wills and trust attorney here in Austin, Texas. I own a family-centered practice here in town, and I've been practicing in Travis and the surrounding counties for about 12 years now. But not only am I a family law and estate planning attorney, but I am also a single mother and a boxer. So just trust that our team has the emotional wherewithal and the wherewithal to handle even the most high conflict cases. But what we really specialize in is ushering families into new expressions of their relationships in a very mindful and meaningful way. So today I am actually joined here by my colleague Kasey Cromer, and he is my colleague and partner in establishing some tips for our followers, tips for folks who are going through divorce and child custody situations, helping them find balance and being able to establish and maintain mental wellness during their family law proceedings. So at this moment, I am going to turn our attention over to Kasey so that he may introduce himself. And so go ahead, Kasey, tell us a little bit about what we're going to be talking today.
hey everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Aisha, for just keeping this conversation going. As Aisha mentioned earlier, my name is Kasey Cromer, and I am a yoga wellness practitioner, teacher, and coach. And I've been in the yoga and the wellness community for almost 9 years. And what I specialize in is really empowering individuals to create first in their home customized yoga wellness practices, really to support them with bringing balance to their mental, physical, emotional well-being. And really, Aisha and I have been friends for a long time, over a decade, and I have such a passion for the work that she does in the sense of really helping families with transition and change and really giving them the tools, partnering with her now in this conversation, partnering with her to give them tools and also those who are just dealing with change and stress in their life, which so many of us are, with these practices. So some of my passions related to that is really the digital content creation that I'm doing, which is part of what we're doing now in this conversation. So I'm going to give it over to Aisha to just talk a bit about the purpose behind this work and really just talking a little bit about some of the previous conversations we've had.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Kasey. So I just want everyone to know that the purpose of our seminars is to provide some general information to the community about family changes that can oftentimes have a negative impact on individuals, an impact on their mental, physical, and emotional well-being as they're going through the divorce process or any sort of family law contested matter. So I just want everyone to know that we will be hosting, and we have been hosting, monthly virtual seminars about specific topics on divorce. Really, our goal is to shift the collective perspective when it comes to divorce from one that can be very destructive to one that's actually transformative. So know that, guys, that divorce is it's a very difficult process. Having gone through the emotionally turbulent process myself, I can certainly vouch for that. But just know that there are ways to cope in a very powerful way that creates possibilities for wellness that can come out of this instead of having a negative outcome. So if you want some notifications or some announcement, be keyed in on the announcements of when these seminars are happening. Please follow our Instagram bios, A McCoy at Law, as well as my colleagues Instagram, yoga. Oh, is Yoga Wellness Kasey? Is that right, Kasey?
Yoga Wellness by Kasey.
Yoga Wellness by Kasey for the link to our all our wellness resources and webinars. Just know that if you're not able to catch us live, we are in fact recording each of these sessions so that our viewers can tune in whenever it's convenient for them. And oh, let me just backtrack a little bit. They're actually going to be the recorded videos are actually going to be uploaded onto our YouTube channel, A McCoy at Law, so you guys can view them at your convenience. But what we also hope to achieve with these seminars is a sense of community within our participants. So we hope you all come back every month and find ways to really connect with each other. So transitioning a little bit into our past discussions. During our first three conversations, we discussed the value of intention setting and thought awareness practices, as well as how to create a personal wellness space for your self-care. And we also discussed breath awareness practices. And all these sessions or these topics rather all work in concert to build value or place of value, I guess place of value, and really hone in on your personal, mental, mental and emotional health, as well as your family's mental and emotional health. So well, I'm going to go ahead and give the reins over to Kasey and have him delve into the discussion about our topics more.
Great. So just go emphasize first and foremost, thank you, Aisha, really just touching on our previous conversations, really as we build and enrich this conversation around yoga wellness practices, they really all are connected and really tools in the toolkit. And I always consider it to just be like a drop in this vast ocean of tools, right? So when we go into just some of this personal experiences, I could say just centered around our previous conversations of really like what Aisha said before, is setting the space, the personal wellness space, the different practices. Really, it really does help a lot. So, for example, all of us experience health challenges, whether it's with us personally or with our family. I remember a time with my mom, as she's becoming more senior, having a number of different health issues that are just new to her and new to the family, and really needing to go into some of the breath practices, right? And the thought awareness practices around the fears around that, really being able to take care of myself in the midst of my mom's health declining in certain respects, and really allowing myself to be able to fill my own cup up with practices so that I can be there for my mom and be able to allow her space to just really share what she's going through. So, and I found them to be hugely beneficial. Doesn't necessarily mean that the situation has changed, but within each situation, whether, like I said, with health or anything else that's going on that's pretty serious, you can shift your mind with these practices and find the balance. And I found it, at least with doing certain thought awareness practices and breath practices that I've shared, we discussed in the previous conversations, that really allow me to maintain clarity
Mhm.
within myself and very calm energy so that my mom, who's dealing with the wildness of changes in her own body, can be a bit off balance, and I can support her in a meaningful way as opposed to being off balance too, and then having her to pull back and not get the support she needs. So I think that is just, that's why I continue to enjoy these types of conversations. I'm sure, Aisha, you have some experience maybe that you may want to share around how our previous discussions have
Yeah.
been beneficial.
Yes, absolutely. And what a and kudos to you for being able to find that solidarity within yourself, because it not only creates, some space for you, but like you said, it allows you to be present and I think that it's more the help that you can offer is much more effective to your mom and to your loved ones and the people in your different circles. So thank you for making us aware of that. But yes, we were talking about intention setting, thought awareness, and creating personal space for your self-care. And these three topics, like just these three practices rather, are so essential. Not They were essential in terms of establishing mental wellness for myself as I was going through my own divorce, and it has been especially helpful to my clients as well. For instance, with intention setting, as I was going through just the onset of the divorce, really arguably some of the darkest times in my life, I felt that intention setting really saved me. And it wasn't necessarily like me focusing on an outcome, because you don't want to focus on a desired outcome as your intention, because you're just going to disappoint yourself. What it really means is to set the tone for the day, envisioning how you're going to move throughout the day, how you're going to react. That Having that sort of pathway carved out for yourself, the intention of how you're going to react to different situations, really does establish some clarity, and it enables you to be more present, and be able to handle any sort of the issues that come up, any of the problems that come up. Similarly, thought awareness. Now, this is the thing, is that with divorce and any sort of contested family law issue, there are naturally lots of feelings of resentment, of anger, feeling victimized. These sort of negative thoughts, yeah, that while they're very natural, it's important to recognize that if we don't control these thoughts, if we're not aware of these thoughts, they can easily escalate into something that's unmanageable for us. And then in turn, we become overwhelmed and not able to handle what's in front of us. But with my clients, whenever we talk about something horrible or something negative about their ex-spouse, I tell them how it's important for us to acknowledge this thought, but not give it so much importance to the point where it starts to escalate. Instead, I've helped my clients establish the practice of acknowledging these thoughts as what they are, and then just letting them go off into the ether. It really is conscious. It really is, because this conscious practice of letting go really helps keep these thoughts from escalating. Now, I talked about intention setting and thought awareness. The last topic that I felt that we feel is super important for folks who are going through divorce or any sort of family law issue is to be able to create personal space for self-care. Now, I know for folks with kids especially, it can be really difficult to create personal space, because oftentimes kids are a part of that personal space, but it is so important for you guys who are going through divorce and these different family law battles, to put the oxygen mask on yourself. Put the oxygen mask on yourself. And what does that look like? It doesn't mean being able to take off for a few days. It doesn't have to be as involved in that. It's creating some personal space for yourself, like a sanctuary for yourself. For some of my clients, for one of my dad clients, he created a personal space within his own garage where he would he got interested in wood carvings, and that was his way of creating personal space and wellness. Similarly, I have another client, a mom client, who created a nice personal space within her own bathroom. She created this nice little spa experience, someplace where she can escape to when things get too overwhelming, too cumbersome. She has that personal space for herself, and it's in turn her oxygen mask. So these three topics, being able to develop the skills that are necessary to master these three things, these three different areas, will certainly help you not only in navigate through divorce, but navigate through some of the toughest parts of your life. Because just know that, their life is full of its challenges. Full, right? Kasey will acknowledge that life is just full of challenges, and so we really also hope that these practices will translate to different areas of your life where you're facing extraordinary challenges. So thank you so much, Kasey, for giving us these tools. So what can we? So let's turn our attention to this current topic now that we've talked about the last thought awareness, intention setting, and creating personal space. What do you have for us, Kasey? What should we dive into?
Yes, so today, the topic that we're really going to focus on to add to your yoga wellness toolkit is we're going to focus on affirmations and the benefits of affirmations to really getting you real clear, not only emotionally and physically, but most importantly, mentally, especially when you're going through serious changes of life, including divorce. So always there's different schools of thought about what actually affirmations are, and how I define affirmations according to my experience and how I've worked with them is really, number one, is affirmations, when used properly, allows you to see things, your experience, in a much more expanded way. Oftentimes, I would say the key indicator of when you are under a negative attack of your own mind is when you start getting to limitations of and how things should be. And what's great about affirmations, number one, is it creates possibility. And I think when you allow yourself to get as many possibilities in a situation, it gives you opportunity to breathe and really expand into it and really learn and get curious, right? I would say the second thing for which I already started to mention about affirmations that's really important is it is a tool to combat the negative mind. So when oftentimes for what's universal where you're going, whether you're going through divorce or not, one of the big things that most people I work with experience, and when I have conversations with people in life, is the not enoughness mind. So what's great about affirmations is it gives you the opposite. It can move you into a complete different way of seeing yourself and how you see relationships. And then I would definitely say the most important thing is everything is really habits that we create, right? How we move through the world, how we go into certain relationships. It's a build of habits from our childhood, some good things, some bad things. And really what I love about affirmations is you can really customize the affirmation to really meet and push into habits that don't work so well. So for example, if you have a habit of, if your partner who you're going through a situation with acts a certain way, you immediately shut down and stop communicating. You could use the affirmation as I like to use a metaphor, a boat that will meet you for you to get in to be able to move into turbulent waters or turbulent conversations. So affirmations are great. So some of the key things about affirmations as we get into practice is really you want to make affirmations easy to remember. So I would say less is more when it comes to words and really simple language, right? So these very large vocabulary doesn't always help, but what is relevant and concise and what is needed in the moment. And then make sure that if they're not supporting the result you want, where you're decreasing negative thinking and actions, or it's not uplifting and positive, you probably don't have an affirmation because it's not affirming you what you need. And the biggest thing, like I said earlier, is it's all about expansion. So I see Aisha's eyes moving. You have something you want to add to that that you?
No, I think that it's a great way to expand your heart too, because and it's not it's a feeling that you get when you have these affirmations, this feeling of expansion versus this feeling of restriction. And when you have this way to expand your heart and expand your mind, it in turn is not only cathartic, but it gives you the clarity that you need to move through your day and to face these difficult issues.
Well said. I love it. And with that said, that's a great, I would say, path into let's go into a practice and experience affirmations.
Perfect.
So allow yourself to go ahead and get into a comfortable seated position, whether you are seated in a chair on the floor, and just make sure you have any pillows under you that's supporting you, and sit up as. Oh. I can't hear you. Say that again.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to get real comfortable here. So what I'll do is that while you're leading us through the exercise, I'm just going to turn my camera off. And then when you're ready, then when we're done with the practice, I'll turn it back on. This is a new thing I'm trying. So let me try it out.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So allow yourself to come to a comfortable seated position. And if you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. And whether your eyes are open or closed, just begin to follow your breath. And really, as you're following your breath, you're not looking to change or shift anything. You're just really just being with what is with each inhale that comes into the body and with each exhale that is being released from the body. Just allowing the breath just to flow in and out. And with each connection of that inhale breath, as you become more familiar, allow the breath to lengthen, really starting to make the breath inhale a bit longer. And with that same length, allow the breath to exhale and feel the warmth of the exhale breath as it leaves your body. And as you're breathing in, create length in the spine. So you're going to use the inhale breath that's a bit longer now. Create length in the spine, straight, sitting up a bit taller. And with the exhale breath, use the exhale breath to relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Even relax your face if it's too tense. And just practice that breath inhale, lengthening the spine. And then the exhale breath, just sitting and just really getting grounded in your seat. And if your eyes aren't closed as you're doing this practice, go ahead and close your eyes now so you can really go more inward with this practice. And as you're following the breath, notice if any thoughts come to you. And if any thoughts come to you, focus your attention more on the breath and allow the thoughts to pass. And if you get caught in any particular thought, just make a note of that thought and just mentally say just the thoughts. And then let the thought pass. And just stay with that practice for a moment of focusing on the breath as it comes into the body. If a thought comes, just acknowledging just the thought. And then allow the breath to pass. Allow the thought to pass and just really stay within the awareness of the thought. And just keep breathing in and breathing out. Just getting more connected and really continue to allow the breath to be your only sense of the moment. And check in with yourself. See if you're still focusing on the breath or if you've moved to a different focus like a thought and let the thought go if you're there. And if you're still focused on the breath or bringing it back to the thought of the focus of the breath, begin to focus the breath, inhale into the center of the chest at the heart. And once you're full of air, hold it there for a moment. And then slowly exhale through your mouth as if you're fogging up a mirror. And do that 2 more times. Slow inhale to the chest at the heart. And once you're full of air, hold it there for a moment. And then slowly exhale all the air out through your mouth as if you're fogging up a mirror. And make this last inhale breath of this part of the practice your deepest inhale into the heart. And then once you're full of air, hold it there. And then slowly exhale all the air out and use the bottom of your diaphragm to push all the air out of your body and allow yourself to be completely empty. And then just naturally on its own, allow the breath with awareness just to come in and out of your body again normally, just breathing in normally as you would. And allow yourself to be the observer of the breath for a moment and just see how it feels now just to breathe in normally, in through the nose, out through the nose. Just being in this space again with just observing the breath, no need to shift anything at all. Now allow the breath to go for a moment and visualize in your mind's eye someone who you have a challenging relationship with. Allow yourself to visualize someone in your mind's eye that you have a challenging relationship with. And as you visualize this person, really just focus in with your breath, their face. It can be what they're wearing. You can even allow yourself to focus in on how you feel, to have them now as the center of your focus. And as you visualize this individual that you have challenges with and negative feelings come up, use your breath to really stay present to just their presence in your focus. And visualize all this light around them. Visualize all this bright light around them. And then mentally affirm peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Keep visualizing this individual with all this light around them. And really mentally keep saying over again, peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. And as you say peace and harmony mentally, continue to expand this light around them. And just keep bringing up all the connection of light and really feel peace and harmony as you continue to connect with this individual. Just keep mentally saying peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Breathing into this space of the light and affirm peace and harmony. Continue to repeat peace and harmony. And if your mind wanders, bring it back to the same visual of this individual, peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. And see all this light around them. Now, allow this individual to move out of your focus and bring yourself to the center of this focus. And as you visualize yourself and you're looking at yourself in your mind's eye, see all this light surrounding you and mentally say peace and harmony, peace and harmony, peace and harmony. And as you continue to see yourself in your mind's eye, just keep repeating peace and harmony, peace and harmony, and feel yourself expanding into this affirmation of peace and harmony as you see yourself in that same light, and just keep breathing in and affirming peace and harmony, really feeling and connecting to peace and harmony. Just stay with this for a moment, repeating peace and harmony as you see yourself. Now visualizing, letting that visual go of yourself and bring you in the individual that you're feeling challenged with. See in your mind's eye, you're both standing side by side. And visualize you both in that same light. And mentally say peace and harmony, peace and harmony. And keep taking in this individual that you feel challenged by, in yourself. Keep seeing this light expand around you both, that same light. And just keep saying peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Keep affirming that affirmation. Keep filling in and drawing in and connecting peace and harmony. And let that be the loudest thing that you hear as you see yourself with this individual in your mind's eye. Peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Now letting that visualization go of you both and just going back to the breath, into the heart, out of the heart, and really hold on to the softness of the peace and harmony in your heart with no visualization. It's just the breath now, back to the breath. And just really hold on to the feeling and connection of peace and harmony. This is the feeling with the breath. And take in 5 of your deepest feeling breaths. 5 of your deepest exhales, is really feeling the practice now of what you just completed. Really allow these 5 breaths to be of integration, of connection. And on your 5th exhale, slowly bring your palms consciously together into prayer as slow as you can. You're just doing it with awareness. And this is really symbolizing connection, truly connection with the fullness of yourself as you bring your palms together at your heart. And for a moment, just mentally breathe in and say thank you. And on your exhale breath, breathe out and say thank you. And just do that 2 more times, mentally just saying thank you with the inhale breath. And with that same sentiment of thank you mentally with the exhale breath. And make this last thank you and thank you the deepest inhale and deepest exhale thank yous of your practice. And then slowly release your palms. Come to a relaxed seated position. And if your eyes are not open, feel free with awareness to open your eyes, staying with your breath. And then we'll just do a quick check-in, and feel free to add any questions that you may have in the chat. And whenever Aishah's ready, she'll share.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for leading us through that practice on using these affirmations to establish mental clarity, Kasey. That was so nice. That was so cathartic. Um, I cannot stress how important this type of practice is to incorporate into your routine every day. One of the great takeaways that I have from this particular practice, and something that I relay to my clients, is that you cannot control that person that you have a challenging relationship with. You can't. But but one thing you have to realize is that you will be dealing with this person, most likely if you have children together, you'll be dealing with this person for the rest of your life. So it's important now to cleanse your mind of these negative thoughts about that person, and instead surrounding them in love, light, or the chant peace and harmony. This helps give you a sense of acceptance, not complacency, not saying you have to be a doormat for this person, but it gives you a sense of acceptance that this person is what he or she is. And at that point, you can focus on what you can control about your thoughts, about your emotions. So thank you so much, Kasey, for showing us how to use these affirmations to help establish this mental clarity, because it is very empowering in a sense that you can understand, you can focus more, like I said, on what you can control about your relationship with that person, your reactions to that person. You can control your, you can have a harness over, or you can harness your thoughts. So Kasey, what are some key takeaways that we can provide to our followers regarding using affirmations to establish and maintain mental wellness and divorce?
Yes, and well said, Aisha. I so emphasize the same thing with my clients, and the languaging I use is being with what is, not needing to change. And I love that you said not meaning to be a doormat, 'cause I always say that too, because part of really true expansion is to also be the willingness to, when you see an injustice, to be able to speak out, but speak out in a way that invites the other person to be in their fullest self, right? And for you to even invite someone to be their complete and embodied self, I would say, of connection is really to be that first. And so with affirmations, some of the keys, just takeaways is um, peace and harmony. So simple, right? Making it relevant. That's why the visualization with someone that is challenging, I think that's so important in your life to have that. And really leaning into the other practices, like if you have where the mind wanders, the breath in general is such a helpful tool. And also, I would say practice. So it's not something you do one time, just like if you want to change your physical body, you go to the gym or you do your exercise, you eat the right things. It's not a one time thing. It's really getting into these practices, and especially when it comes to the deeper the hurt, I will say, make sure, definitely, I agree with Aisha 1,000%, even though clearly I'm not great with math because I said 1,000%. Be in those practices. Be in those practices at least twice a day. And especially when it comes to relationships with people, I would say that's what most of the work of why we come to really grow, how we come to really grow is in our relationship with people where it's challenging. So embodying these practices in your daily life is a great teaching for others. And just as a quick commercial, I'm going to throw in here to build on this for our next conversation around this, of what it means to expand on all these practices. We will be discussing, look, wink, wink. Aisha's like, what? I'm going to show you how to shift how you breathe and how you hold like your hand. We're going to get into how we hold our hand to be able to symbolize expansion and
Okay.
growth in our practices. So that's something we're going to. So it's going to get a lot more emotional, energetic healing. Like you have massages and different things, you can actually do your own energetic massage to do some clearing. And I'm going to show you how to do that in our next conversation, our next
And
topic. So that's what I
wonderful.
will leave with.
Looking forward to it. So in summation, we have introduced the topics of intention setting, of thought awareness, creating personal space to establish and maintain mental wellness. And then finally, we introduced the topic of using affirmations to establish mental clarity and wellness. So as we go through our seminars, I'm super excited to see Kasey assist us in showing us how to expand on these different topics, uh, how to really incorporate this into our daily lives in a way that's meaningful, that's relevant, that's helpful, especially for our folks who are going through divorce. So feel free to follow me, A McCoy at Law on Instagram, and Yoga Wellness by Kasey on Instagram. Feel free to take a look at all our recorded seminars on YouTube at A McCoy at Law. And I appreciate you guys. And please stay tuned. We will have our seminar next month, and that day will be determined. Just follow us for any sort of updates and notifications. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, friends. I appreciate you. All right, take care.
All right. Bye.